Hello, and welcome back to Coin Lady channel. This video demonstrates how far gone the SEC currently is. Many people in the XRP community have been wondering if the cryptocurrency was mentioned in the emails from Bill Hindman giving free access to Ethereum. Therefore, I'd like to share a new discovery that John Deaton made in this regard. John Deaton and Jeffrey Hogan both said this would be terrible for the SEC. John Deaton may have only recently uncovered the existence of these emails, but the SEC has always been firm in its position that XRP is not a security. I mean, come on, you guys, this is incredible. That's a big deal for the situation at hand. It's not anything you'll want to miss. Guys, I thought I'd let you know that after a 24-hour pause, the XRP pendants are back on sale in the cryptocurrency market. This is my go-to attire, and the dark background makes it stand out even more. It's a sick thing. In my opinion, this is a remarkable thing. The price tag is quite low. It's $76. My identification number is MM. According to the video's description, that will result in a 15% cost savings. However, he is also currently carving the XRP price for just this weekend. Ideally, in 10 to 15 years, you'll look back on this and be astounded at how cheap XRP once was. Put another way, I thought it was totally cool. The engraving, in fact, comes out of his own pocket. As a result, there is no money to be made here. This thing is awesome, plain and simple. I would suggest checking that out if you're curious. Let the video begin. In addition, given our current understanding, I think it's important to begin with some history. Joseph Grundfest wrote this frank assessment to Jay Clayton. Additionally, on the 17th of December, 2020, Jay Clayton received this letter. And this was right before Jay Clayton sued Ripple in the present case. This is absolutely mind-blowing and shows that Joseph Grundfest, a former SEC commissioner, was fully apprised of everything that was happening in the conference. It's further proof that what the XRP community has found and what we've uncovered is real, in my opinion. This, according to these SEC officials, is precisely what happened. It was his contention that if Ether is capped, so too must XRP be freely traded on the market. Any other result would create an unfair competitive advantage that would violate federal securities laws and would be hard to defend. Jay Clayton received a communication from Joseph Grundfest, a former SEC official, warning him that trying to set constraints on XRP that are not on Ethereum would be an obvious misuse of the security legislation. This warning came before the complaint was filed. There is no difference between the status of XRP and a cryptocurrency like Ethereum, as far as former SEC Commissioner Joseph Grundfest is concerned. Moreover, if you try to assert that there is a distinction, you are being intellectually dishonest and are doing so to advance your own agenda. In light of everything we have learned so far, this takes on a much greater significance. We can now look back and say, yes, this is exactly what was happening, to quotes like, "This is utterly absurd," because these SEC representatives knew that Bill Hindman and Jay Clayton were trying to give Ethereum a stranglehold on the market by obtaining a special status that no other cryptocurrency has. And I think this only shows that the SEC hired smart people. Joseph Grundfest was one of the many who tried to do the right thing. He knew that cryptocurrencies needed regulations, therefore he didn't try to argue the ridiculous. The regulations for XRP and Ethereum need to be different. Transparency and a mechanism to level the playing field for all of these cryptocurrencies are all that is actually needed in this market. Bill Hindman and Jay Clayton tried desperately to avert such scenario. But I think many wrongs were set straight by the conclusion of this case. I think we're going to completely repair most of the harm these dishonest politicians caused. And I think that might even be good for us in the long term. I'd want to continue talking about John Deaton's fascinating new discovery. And in this case, human beings. I'm curious if XP was discussed at length in these emails. If, as John Deaton and Jeremy Hogan have stated, he was referenced in these emails, it would be disastrous for the SEC. And I just want to talk about the reason why for a minute. First off, these emails don't matter all that much under the law when trying to figure out if XRP is a security or not. After all, the SEC might have been wrong even if they thought XRP wasn't a security, as they claimed. The judge may still rule that XRP was a security based on the Howey test. This is important to understand because, ultimately, it will be Judge Torres who applies the relevant securities laws to establish whether or not XRP is a security, regardless of whether or not the SEC ruled that it was. It doesn't matter what the SEC thinks because nothing will change. However, I don't think it's being stressed enough how poorly this could reflect on the SEC in the eyes of Judge Torres. Since Judge Torres is a human being like you and me, the SEC's secret claim that XRP is not a security, followed by a lawsuit against Ripple alleging that the company's founders were irresponsible and purposefully traded XRP while knowing it was a security, paints the SEC in a very unfavorable light. In this case, the law hardly seems to matter. This is utterly ludicrous. She'll exclaim at such an occurrence. You shouldn't have made this complaint, in my opinion. Emails like this shouldn't, in theory, change the fact that the SEC is considering XRP to be a security. But I still think it will play a major role in shaping her decision. Oh well, perhaps the SEC clarifies it later, the judge might have thought. If she says she was on the fence about how to rule after seeing this, it would be a red flag. Maybe that will be settled after a while. Maybe the SEC is working on new regulations right now. It's possible that this was her initial thought when she made the complaint. But now that she's seen this, she'll be shocked to learn that the SEC is actively targeting the secondary market, attacking retail holders and Ripple members who obviously didn't know any better is a priority for them. Because of this, Judge Torres views the SEC in a very unfavorable light and realizes that there is an immediate need for clarification in this market. What John Deaton found is embarrassing for the SEC as a whole. There appears to be a quote in those emails which states, however, this is not yet a precise quote because some of it has not been censored. The trillionite in this case, there are compelling arguments that XRP is not a security under U.S. federal securities laws and does not pass muster under the Howey test. Just how terrible is that as an actual email? Evidence implies XRP is not a security, according to the SEC. The SEC has filed suit against Ripple, claiming that the company's founders were negligent in their duty to ascertain whether or not XRP constituted a security, given that even Ripple employees had their doubts. This proves that the SEC didn't bring this case because they thought XRP was a security, but for some other reason. I find this to be of paramount importance. In this instance, the SEC cannot survive. My guess is that Ripple will take a hit for some early sales. But I think these exchanges have put to rest any speculation that XRP itself would be considered a security. Judge Torres has read these emails and declared, even if they do not change the factual situation around whether or not XRP is a security, I still want to make them public, which is equally important to understand. I think this is why she is so eager to get them released to the public. With these communications, the SEC will be right in their faces, she says. It shows that there was significant dispute within the SEC over whether or not XRP qualifies as a security. This is a major embarrassment. It's safe to assume that this means Judge Torres will rule that XRP traded on the secondary market is not a security. Honestly, this gives me faith that the SEC will find a solution to this conflict. When the SEC's own investigators concluded that XRP wasn't a security, why did they let the news get out? The accusation of libel against Ripple is ridiculous. I came across this Australian tweet by John Deaton and thought you would enjoy it. I always want the claims I make to be backed up with evidence. Therefore, I feel the need to elaborate. Although this is not an official statement from the SEC, it is damning enough to show that XRP was discussed. Someone at the SEC sent an email to a group expressing this opinion. It's debatable if this is actually a direct quote from an SEC official or whether the official simply consulted his attorney and reported back what the attorney told him. Neither option is preferable. This was done so that it would be crystal clear that XRP was not considered a security. This was added to the thread by an SEC official. And after this case, I can't imagine the SEC lasting much longer. The SEC's reaction is currently awaited. I find it hard to believe that they would release these emails to the public. I have no doubt that they will never allow things to be made public. But if they do, ladies and gentlemen, it means that either Ripple won the day or XRP is not a security on the secondary market. Ripple will receive a warning or we will reach a settlement declaring XRP not to be a security any week now. In each direction, ripples become more distinct. And because I agree wholeheartedly with these two tweets by Blood, I wanted to give you a quick reading. The XRP community currently has a negative view of the SEC. Just hold tight. You should be grateful that they sued Ripple if you aren't already. Guys, you have my full agreement on this. This is a once-in-a-lifetime chance for the XRP community to buy. The SEC has been gradually subdued by Ripple, and the resulting information is fascinating. CBDC platforms are being introduced by Ripple globally. Their business is doing well. They're growing at a lightning pace. The case for XRP being the only non-security in the cryptocurrency market is taking shape, and the bullish thesis is starting to take shape. The end result will be universal approval. I think we are getting close to the end of this, and it will be a huge success. Anyway, I greatly value your being here today, gentlemen. I trust you found this update interesting. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. Bye.